The Opinionated Idiot.
Hey, how is everybody doing? Good afternoon. It's the Opinionated Idiot live show. That's pretty good, huh? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. Welcome back to another edition of the Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel live show. It's early in the afternoon here. I had a little bit of time to live stream before my plans this evening. I'm not going to be on this evening at my regular time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're live right now. I plan to spend maybe an hour with you guys and just kind of go through some recent things that have been going on in the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. As you know, the last couple of streams we have been kind of reviewing and going back, back from the beginning into where we are now in this case. And if you have a moment, go back and watch those. I have 2 parts up right now, part 1 and part 2. And I'm going to be doing a part 3 in that series and probably a couple more parts to that series in the upcoming next week or so. So you definitely want to go back and check that out. If you're not watching live right now, you'll be watching this on a replay. And usually what I do is I download these episodes and I'll re-upload them a couple of days later to hit that algorithm. And so you may see me pull up some chat, but you won't see the live chat if these are re-uploads. But I want to welcome in everybody this afternoon. I'm going to kind of plow through this stream. I may not pull up a lot of the chat, but you're free to do that because I don't have very limited time this afternoon. Just hang on one second. I do have to check something here. I'll attend to that later, but I am here hopefully about the next hour or so, and we will go on with the program. So what I wanted to do this afternoon is there's a report that came up via Fox News. Let me pull up this article. It says Bryan Kohberger's alumni matter, Washington State University rocked by second campus death. And let's read through this article, and then I want to transition into some of my own thoughts. Some of my own thoughts that may be going on in this campus, this state, and our modern day society. So just deal with me. We'll go through this here, and we'll see what the bigger picture is overall. So the article leads, it says, what is happening in Pullman this year? A WSU student wrote on a Facebook comment. And it says, Washington State University has recorded its second death on campus so far in 2023, months after one of its former students, Bryan Kohberger, was accused of killing 4 students at a nearby University, Idaho, in their off-campus home on November 13, 2022. WSU police on Thursday responded to a call from Stephenson's complex on campus, a resident hall that houses all major with a focus of first-year STEM students located a deceased male upon arrival. It's the second death reported on campus so far this year after Luke Morton Tyler, a WSU freshman, found dead in one of the Pullman campus residence halls on January 22nd. There is no known threat to Pullman, Washington college community at this time, and the WS Police Department is working with Whitman County Coroner's Office to investigate the person's death, police said in a Facebook post. The Whitman County Coroner is expected to release the deceased male's name and cause of death at a later time, WSU police said. The WSU police officer Jenkins told KHPL cue that the deceased male was college aged, the outlet also reported that the person's death was probably a suicide. The two deaths on campus came after Kohberger was arrested on December 30th, 2022, in connection with the brutal stabbings of Washington, I'll get this out, of University of Idaho students, Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Madison. The PhD student was studying criminal justice at WSU, in which was about 15-minute drive from U of I in Moscow, Idaho. About a month prior to his arrest, in November 2022, Pullman police fatally shot 36-year-old Brent Lee Kopaka near the WSU campus because he was, quote, threatening to kill his roommates, authorities said at the time. The recent incidents have left the community members on edge in Pullman as the 2022 and 2023 school year comes to a close in May. And then it just goes on to end the article. Kohberger is due in court for a preliminary hearing on June 26th. So not really any breaking major news, but there's definitely a lot of interesting things going on in Pullman. And I saw earlier someone in the chat said, are we just kind of hyper focused on that area? And we may certainly be. But I want to just look at this at kind of a rational way of thinking, a rational way of things. And maybe I can connect with a few of you out there. I know that you're all going to have your thoughts as to what's going on. I know that you're all going to have your thoughts in this, Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. I'm not here to swing your views in any of that. You have the right to think any way you want to think about that. I'm only here to give my opinions and to see if any of my opinions line up with your opinions. That's what we do here, kind of in this environment. But I want to look at a bigger picture, maybe of what's going on. And I want to look at just some recent things that have gone on in our news. Now, we had the shooter in Nashville and we had the shooter in Louisville, some very high profile things that have gone on in the last, 3 weeks or so. And I started to kind of give some thought about this. And I want to reference a video that I actually saw the other day, because I don't want to say that I'm making all this material up on my own, but I want to kind of highlight some of those points. Theo Vaughn dropped a video the other day, and he was talking about, why all these recent not school shooters, but why all these recent shooters lately. And maybe this does connect to something here that's going on, out in Idaho. Maybe it connects to alleged suspect Bryan Kohberger, and maybe it connects to a lot of some other things that are going on, in our society. Actually, a lot of things that are going on in society. But hear me out. So I think that what happens in these types of situations, especially in society today, and when these people act out and have these type of things that go on, and I want to look at all kind of the litigating factors, kind of this cauldron that's been kind of brewing, I would say, in the last at least 5 to 10 years in society. I think a lot of what goes on is that the reason that people do these types of things or commit these types of crimes or have these big incidences with shootings or killings or anything like that is that the specific person or people that are doing this are searching for a purpose. Maybe they're searching for love. Maybe they're searching for life. Maybe they're searching for a purpose of being. Theo was talking about in his video that, you look back at, a job. Okay. Let's say we go back 10 years. Okay. And when you went to your job and you worked for a company, you worked for a specific accomplishment. It almost felt like your job was very vested in you. And what's happened now, as maybe that job that you've been at, I'm just kind of using this as an example, maybe that job that you've been at has now grown, and maybe it's grown tenfold since you've gotten there. And you've essentially now just become a number. So there's not really any sense of purpose for anything to work for, because in the end that you're just going to be another person that's at that place. There's no sense of accomplishment. There's no sense that that company is invested in you anymore, as a person. You're just basically a number. And I think that's a lot is what's going on in our society, is that we're just becoming numbers. You look at a lot of things too. People aren't having families anymore. People, our Gen Z, our millennials are not procreating like we used to. We're not having that quote unquote nuclear family. So you're not having that sense of community, and you're not having that sense of vibe of family. I mean, face it myself. I mean, I'm older. I'm Gen X. I don't have a very large family. I don't connect with a lot of my family. I connect with a lot of all of you. I connect with my friends. I connect with my coworkers. But I mean, outside of like work and stuff, the only one I'm really very close to is my mother. We have a very, very close relationship, but I don't do like, birthday parties or, the christenings or any of that. And that's even in Gen Z era. I mean, it was just very broken. I had a fatherless home, but my mom stepped up and did that job of my dad. And I always say that, if I didn't have that mother that played double duty in that home, a very strong mother to keep me on that road to success, or just being a good kid and staying out of trouble, I probably would be in trouble. I mean, I came from statistically a terrible home. I had a father that was an alcoholic. I had a father that was a drug addict. I had a father that was very violent towards me and my mother. I had a father that took off for months at a time, and we didn't know where he was, and then he would just come back and be violent. I should be that statistic. So I don't know why that, I should be all those things. I should be an alcoholic. I should be a drug addict. But my mom stepped up and did that job. My mom took care of me and gave me that father, that guidance. Or, I just had the will enough, or the smarts enough, when I knew I was going in a shitty situation, or surrounded with shitty people, or people that were going to go down a shitty path. I had the wherewithal to get out of that, to turn in a different direction, to pivot. So I talked about fatherless homes on the rise, not having that family unit, not having that core. I think that social media has definitely amplified things. Everything comes at us so quick. That rise in the internet in the 90s went from like here to just tenfold right away. And then you started having all these social platforms. You had Facebook, you had all the dating sites that you could get on, the TikToks, Twitter, YouTube, anywhere that you could get this instant news, or instant thoughts, or chat boards or community boards. So, that stuff, everything went from us very fast. And then we had the ability to get one of these in our hand. Now this brings everything lightning fast. I always say this sucker right here is the best, worst invention that has ever been, invented and put into our hands. So everything's coming at you so fast, and everything is changing so fast. And you have all these thoughts, and you don't have this place of being anymore. You need to change your gender, or be a man, or be a woman, or shoot a gun, don't shoot a gun, don't own a gun, watch this program, you're not cute enough, you need this lipstick to make you look beautiful, you need to drive this car, you need to read this newspaper, don't pay attention to Fox News, watch CNN is the devil, watch Fox News. So I think you understand what's going on. And if you're not mentally prepared for that, like a lot of these young kids are not nowadays, that's why these things happen. And if you see the age of people that are doing these types of things, they're young. They're young kids. And look, I'm not saying that we need to coddle anybody. We don't need to. I think tough love is a good thing. But something's going on, and something's breaking down within these kids. And I call them kids because I'm older. But something's going on. And we need to peel back and start looking at all of that. The news media has ramped up. And I was just talking about that a second ago. All these thoughts coming through our head, lightning fast. I mean, there's times here, I have a YouTube channel. Sometimes I need to disconnect. It's just too much. It's too much. When I go off air, I need to disconnect from that. I need to get myself in a focused mind frame to come on air and do this. But when I'm away, I need that time. When I'm away from my job, I don't want 40 emails a day coming at me. That's my time. That's my time for a mental break, because we have so much that comes at us. Ping, ping, ping. You guys know, you look at your phones all day long, the notifications that go off, it probably gets to you at some point. And then I can only imagine if you have kids, or you have a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're trying to juggle your social life. You have pets, you have a dog, you have school to worry about, you have studying that you need to do, you have friends that you need to, hang out with, you have a social life. A lot of things that we have to start looking at too is the political factors that are going on in this country. And I'm not going to hear and get in political stuff, but I'm just going to give you kind of a brief overall here. You have corruption, you have the lack of political representation, you have a government's inefficiency that can cause instability and unrest, leading to the downfall of our society right now. Authoritarian rule and representation of civil liberties can also lead to social and political tensions. And a lot of that is going on in this country. A lot of that is going on in this country. It's scary. It's very scary. Every day you wake up, something new is happening. The interest rates are going up. They're going to take away your money. They're going to give you digital currency. China's going to start a war. We're at war at Ukraine. It's just, you can't juggle it. You can't balance it. We look at social factors, and I talked about this earlier, the breakdown of social institutions and values, such as a family core unit. That can lead to the erosion of society, cohesion and breakdown of society. There's no more families. I mean, I used to love the time when I was a kid, I would get out of school at, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My mom would pick me up, have a couple of friends in the car. We'd drive over to Blockbuster and we walk that place for 2 or 3 hours and look what movies and Nintendo games we were going to rent for the weekend. And then you hung out that weekend and you had your friends stay over and you watched movies and you played Nintendo till 1 o'clock in the morning. You got to ask yourself, are you doing that with your kids anymore? Do kids do that type of stuff? Do we have areas in this country where we can have families hang out and bring their kids out and feel togetherness and be loved? All those places are gone. There's not much of that anymore. It's all this individuality. Be individual, be by yourself, be this person. We don't come together as a core unit anymore. We don't come together as society. There's not this pride in country anymore. Drugs and dependency and alcohol are all-time high. We just came through that scamdemic. People fall into drugs, people fall into alcohol, their addictions pick up. We have a lot of drugs that are coming up through the southern border. Whatever happened to DARE programs? We don't see those in schools or society anymore. Those were effective. I remember when they used to come to my junior high school and my high school and have a DARE officer come through and just be, someone that gave a police presence instead of, being scared of police when you saw them. You built a relationship with that officer in your community. Those aren't going on anymore. Things don't like that happen. We're told to fear the police. We're told to not call the police. Maybe that's why there was an 8-hour lapse in that call that, at King Road. Don't call the cops. There's fear. You got to look at economic factors. Economic instability such as high inflation, unemployment, and debt can cause widespread social unrest and lead to collapse of society. Unequal distribution of wealth and resources can lead to social and political tensions. Shit, man, there's a ton of that going on. So can you only imagine just some of the things that I've mentioned so far when you're a kid and you're 19 and 20 and 21 years old and you're seeing this shit come across you, 8 seconds at a time on a TikTok video or a 30-second, video, be this, be that, Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light and all this shit. That's just flooding your brain. And you have no one to talk to. You have nowhere to go except for sitting in your room at a computer or on your phone. And you're isolated because these kids don't know how to interact. It's sad. Look at cultural factors, changes in cultural values and norms that can lead to society instability and conflict. Disintegration of cultural identity and lack of shared values can lead to social fragmentation and the collapse of society. No sense of pride in country or togetherness anymore. We're told to hate America. We're told to hate our neighbors. If they don't look like you, they don't belong. Don't talk to them. Stay within yourself. I mean, can you only imagine what's building up? And I think a lot of people play victim in this country. No responsibility for their actions. It's their problem. That's the way, because the way I am. But can you understand why we have mental health issues in this country right now? Can you see that? Can you understand? I think I just gave good 10 to 12 examples. Maybe that's why all these people that are causing all this shit that's going on in this country, they're so young. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I think it is contributing to a lot of it. The suicides, the drug overdoses. These people are looking for something. They're looking for a way out. I think it's crazy. I think one state has completely legalized drugs now. I mean, look at the problems that they have there. I was watching a video the other day out in Seattle. There was a guy openly shooting heroin on the streets with kids walking by and tourists walking by on like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. That video's gone viral. It's like over 20 or 30 million views, and they do nothing about it. I see it in my small city of what's going on. Our societies are becoming fragmented, and these political leaders don't give a shit about us. They don't care. But you have to fight for your community. And if someone's down, talk to them. Give them a way out. Get them some help. Something doesn't seem right. Ask, how you doing? You all right? I don't think we do that enough anymore. We don't check on thy neighbor. So, I'm not here to pick on young kids. I'm not here to pick on anybody of that age. If I could reach out and help all of them, I would. And sometimes, just like the shit that I went through when I was that age, you gotta tough it up sometimes and just go through it. Find a distraction, find something to do, be constructive. It's weird. I go outside, I don't see kids riding bikes anymore. I don't see kids playing and skate. I don't see people skateboarding anymore. I don't see kids playing basketball. There's a million basketball hoops around here. There's no one out. What are all these kids doing? They're sitting home. They're on their phones 24 hours a day, flicking through an 8-second video, hundreds and thousands of them a day. That's how they're getting their social interaction. That's the problem, and shame on the parents that hand these kids a tablet at 3, 4, 5 years old as the babysitter. Put the fucking tablet down and spend some real time with your kids. Maybe they'll turn out a little bit better. Maybe they won't get into drugs and alcohol. Maybe they won't hurt someone. Maybe they won't fucking murder someone. But, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to come on today and get kind of some of this out and just see how you all felt here how you felt about all of this. Again, we know what we're doing here. We're following this Bryan Kohberger case. It's going to take us up to June 26th. Hopefully we have a preliminary hearing. I know everybody is chewing at the bit that they hope that it's televised. Not sure if it's going to be. But we're going to do our best to follow it, because in the end, it comes down to the 4 victims in this case, and they need to have justice. And if it's not Bryan Kohberger, then he needs justice too. But we need to get to the bottom of the line of this. That's why we're all here. That's why we're all vested in this. And I will keep talking about this until there's justice in this case. I think we all will. It's sad. And it's sad to see what's going on in Pullman in Moscow. But this is not just, in those areas. This is happening everywhere across America. And it's sad sometimes that some certain cases get high profile and some don't. Look at all the violence that happens in Chicago. And they have some of the most strictest gun laws in the country. A criminal's going to find their way to get their hands on a gun. It's not the gun that kills anybody. It's the person behind that trigger. Are there things that we could probably do to curb a lot of the gun violence? Probably. How about do mental health checks? Oh, wait, we can't do that because it's because of HIPAA. I would, if it was me, if you're in any type of psychiatric care or you've been under any psychiatric care, you probably shouldn't have any access to a gun. But we can't look into that because that's the law and it's someone's health and yada, 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 yada. I think it would solve a lot of things. I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I think there's I know a ton of responsible gun owners, but it's their right. But if we can put some more controls, checks, and balances in place, I'm all for that. But this is what happens. You get someone that's pissed off. You got someone that doesn't have an outlet. You have someone that might have a mental health issue. They go into a store, they buy a gun, they pick up a knife. They decide to take their frustration on someone else. Innocent victims that have nothing to do with anything. People that don't deserve this. Listen, I struggle with mental health. I'm sure a lot of you out there struggle with mental health, but we find things through family, friends, therapists, maybe medication and some things. I pray for all of you. I do. And I enjoy all of you. And if I can bring, that one email that you might need to write or get out and share your story, I'll respond to it. That's what we're all here for. Keep building this community, Whew. I had a lot to get off my chest today. A lot to get off my chest. But I just wanted to pop in really quick and do this quick stream. I do have some things going on later today. I hope that you found this stream helpful. You all are very strong in this community. The channel's growing, the community's growing. And like I said, I saw everybody kind of chatting. I wanted to just get kind of this point out in a really quick point today, a really quick stream, and just kind of give some thought as some things that were on my chest. I will not be streaming this evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my normal time, but I will be back on Thursday, and I'm going to drop the reminder in the chat for that. So that's going to be part 3 in our taking a look back and what got us to this point at Bryan Kohberger and Idaho 4. So if you want to hit that reminder, make sure you hit that. I will be back on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want, we can hang out a little bit here for a couple of minutes. And again, if this is your first time over here on this channel, please make sure to go down and subscribe. And if you all could do me a favor, there's about 60 people in the chat. If you could hit that thumbs up button already, if you haven't. But again, I just had a quick, just some quick thoughts to come up. And I always feel like if I'm on a scheduled day and I don't do something for you, for you all, I kind of feel like I'm missing out. So I need to give some content back. I was going to do a video about this, but I just, you know what, I'm going to go live and just kind of get this all off my chest and kind of bring it all together here. So, like I said, I will be back Thursday. If for my members only, paid members, you can go over to the community tab, click in that. I now have a Discord server up. It's only for paid members. You can go in there and see on my community board and get into the Discord server. We had some chat going on last night, and we usually kind of pick up the chat late in the evening. Let me just pull this up really quick. Heather says, my son is a 20-year-old openly gay male. He had no father. He's not shooting people, doing drugs, or using alcohol. I know that could always change. My point being, a nurturing environment can be huge. And that's absolutely 100% correct. Heather, you've done a great job. From what I can see and understand, you've done a great job. And you've been very accepting, which is good. And you've given good guidance, which is really good. Firefly says, we appreciate you, Bryan. Well, I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate you all being here and kind of, and building this community. AZ says, cough, cough, cough. Society, Vince Vaughn, Into the Wild. Yes. Great movie, by the way. If you want to talk about discovering yourself, watch that movie. Insane and totally something that could have been avoided at the end. Susie says, we really enjoy you, Bryan. You and your show. Thank you so much. I'm just kind of going back up through here through the chat. I appreciate all the chats here. Danielle says, darn, I'm late. Yeah, watch it on replay, Danielle. It would be up there. Again, really quick stream today just to get something out, get some content up for you guys. And ladies, I always say you guys. When I say you guys, I mean just in general to the chat. Maybe I should say idiots, but then I would feel bad if I said idiots, because what if someone came in and is like, this guy's calling everybody idiots? Like, what's with that? But we're always working on things here to expand the channel and get things moving along. I'm planning for some bracelets next month. It's going to say the Opinionated Idiot on it, and then below it, it's going to say Official Idiot. So we're planning on doing those as well. So again, I just wanted to pop in really quick, do a quick stream for you all. Not much crazy content today, but I did post that reminder in the chat. And I'll post it again. If you go in there and you hit the reminder, we'll be back here Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, again for my normal time long live stream. We're going to part 3 of looking back in the Idaho 4. Let's see. Heather says, hey, I didn't get the notification. I will go back and watch it. I'm at work. Sorry. Love you all. Not a problem, Amber. I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately. I literally was just watching one of my sneaker channels. They are live right now. That guy gets about 3,000 people in his chat, and everybody on there said they didn't even get notification for his channel. So YouTube, you need to fix your notifications, because us live streamers rely on our audience to be informed when we go live. This is important, and it's important for the sustainability of our channel, and it's important for the growth of our channel. So if you're listening to anybody in YouTube, you need to fix your notifications, because I know all my subscribers and my fans here have their bell notifications turned on, and they are not getting the notifications. So I think it's funny that when I go live, that within 2 minutes in my stream, YouTube will limit me, and I have to have that to a manual review, but they can't notify my subscribers and let them know that I've gone live. So that's my little YouTube rant. Need to fix that, and fix it quick, because it is a little bit unfair to the audiences that come here and watch us here live. So yeah, if you want to go back, rewind the stream, watch it live, I'm going to drop this. But again, really quick stream. I wanted to get some of this stuff off my chest and just report of what's going on in WSU. And I think that's going to be it for today. All of you all be well. Thanks for popping in really quick. I know this is kind of midday. It's a little rare for me, but I thought I would give a little content to people that haven't seen me live and can't catch the late shows. But I love you all. Leave the comments after this post. I'd love to see how you all felt about the stream today, what your thoughts are, and please share your story in the comments as well after this post. I really would appreciate it. I will be back Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know the ways to get all a hold of me. The Discord server, you can email me at theopinionatedidiot@gmail.com or connect through my Facebook group, and you can instant message me there as well. I'm also on Twitter at The Opinionated Idiot. You can find me there as well, and all my affiliate links will be down below. Really appreciate it. I will see you guys soon. Please be well, and I'll let you know all how my date went when I see you guys on Thursday. I'll see you all then. Thank you. Bye.